At 3:32 on the morning of the 6th of April, the Italian town of L'Aquila was struck by an earthquake, measuring 6.3 on the Richter scale. It was to have catastrophic consequences. This ancient medieval city had little defense against such a powerful force of nature. 294 people were killed, 20 of them children. Over 1,000 more were injured. 28,000 have been left homeless. They're still searching for bodies nearly 3 weeks later. For this tight-knit community, coming to terms with their loss will take years. Disasters like this are indiscriminate. Fathers, sons, mothers, daughters, young and old, were all lost. And the rugby community wasn't spared. Lorenzo Sebastiani was found dead in the ruins by one of his coaches. The 20-year-old prop had a bright future. He represented his country in last year's Junior World Championship and was a young man with everything to look forward to in life. For his teammates at L'Aquila, it's been a harrowing experience. Lorenzo was much loved.
A fantastic man, full of happiness. He was the sweetheart of the team.
Lorenzo was a person it wasn't fair to lose, and we don't know why. For me and the team, he'll always be on our side.
L'Aquila is a rugby town, and the club members responded selflessly in the immediate aftermath of the quake. Many went straight to the local hospital, which was badly damaged, and helped carry patients to safety. Others dug with their bare hands to search for survivors. One of them was fullback Dario Pallotta. He'd narrowly escaped death himself, but headed straight back into the danger zone to rescue others.
I spotted a girl downstairs who was screaming, and so I went to take her out. She was in despair, wondering where her parents were. I went upstairs to find rubble and debris everywhere, with water pipes broken and an awful smell of gas and broken stairs. I kicked the door open and brought the man all the way downstairs. Then, while picking up the elderly lady, there was a second shake, which made another side of the house crash down. The old lady was telling me to leave her, but I wouldn't have left her dying.
The rugby club was immediately offered up to help the thousands of survivors left without a home. It was a refuge, a familiar and welcoming shelter for those devastated by events.
It was a big shock. Many died, almost 300. The pitch was used as a place to come together. Just like in rugby we come together. And L'Aquila being a rugby town, everyone thought they'd find comfort here.
As the town comes to terms with the devastation, the heroic efforts of the rugby team haven't been forgotten.
Some of them have rescued wounded people from the rubble. They played a big part in that. But the most moving thing is that the team, right from the start, went to the hospital, which suffered serious damage. They were the ones who helped evacuate the patients from danger, carrying them away as our lifts were out of order. They moved all the elderly and long-term patients and brought them to safety. The staff told me that if it wasn't for them, they would not have been able to cope.
The support from the rugby community, both in Italy and abroad, has been heartwarming, with clubs sending food, toys, volunteers and money. When L'Aquila needed help, the global rugby family responded.
I'm moved and very proud to be part of this world, because I understand that although we are opponents during a match, we are true brothers in life and in solidarity. I believe it's a special game that we're part of.
The city is facing years of recovery and rebuilding. Thousands of homes may have to be knocked down. The reality for the rugby players is equally uncertain, but they're determined to play on in the memory of their fallen teammate.
We realise that we've been very lucky, but we also have to come to terms with the fact that we live and play rugby for a city that doesn't exist at the moment. We live where there is no hospital, no university, no schools, and where life has become really difficult. That is what my team is faced with. Our teammate has died, and we can't do anything about that. But I believe that our duty as players is to play even better, so we can please Lorenzo, because I know he is watching us from above.
5 months on, and L'Aquila is still coming to terms with the devastation. It's estimated that it will take 8 years for the city to be rebuilt. Many thousands of families remain homeless. The rugby club played a heroic role on the night of the earthquake. Having narrowly escaped death, fullback Dario Pallotta risked his own life by rescuing others from collapsed buildings. We met up with him and club captain Maurizio Zaffiri last weekend to find out how the club and town are recovering.
As you can see, things are moving ahead. We're up and running again. Now we're waiting for the people in the tents to be moved elsewhere, because the people of L'Aquila need proper accommodation. What else is there to say? I hope the recovery works will go on like this.
Despite the tragedy, the club remarkably earned promotion to the top division, and emotions were running high for players and fans alike as they returned to the pitch.
This is a very special day, and it would have been a very special day for Lorenzo too. He's always going to be close to our hearts. It's a special day for our city, and this match means a lot to it. It's the first game we'll play here since the earthquake.
Lorenzo was the heart and soul of the team, even though he was the youngest player. His brother Amerigo would later be presented with his match shirt, the number 1 jersey having been retired forever in tribute to their former teammate.
Rugby was everything to Lorenzo, from dawn to dusk. The training, the match, and after the match. Rugby was his passion. It's an honor to have had a brother who played for L'Aquila. L'Aquila rugby is a symbol of the city and of the Abruzzo region. But it is also the symbol of our revival. To be better in future, always.
Against Viadana, one of the giants of Italian rugby, L'Aquila were not expected to have any chance of victory, but they were inspired from the start. They took the lead with a penalty and, roared on by their supporters, continued to play well above themselves. Viadana came back with a try before half-time and were expected to go on to win comfortably, but L'Aquila kept on fighting. The lead swapped hands repeatedly as the half progressed. All looked lost when Viadana crossed for another try, but as the match headed into injury time, L'Aquila were awarded a penalty, 5 metres inside their own half. Fate finally smiled kindly on them as the ball crept over the crossbar to spark scenes of great joy. L'Aquila rugby has suffered terrible loss, but the humanity and bravery of the club and its players were recognised with the IRB's Spirit of Rugby Award for 2009. Presented by the president of the Italian Rugby Federation, Giancarlo Dondi.
This prize means a lot for L'Aquila. We're very honoured to have received it. We'd like to thank the organisers. It's really a great moment for the city of L'Aquila.
And for the players, Lorenzo Sebastiani will never be forgotten.
He'll always be with us. His name is written underneath our hearts on the shirts we wear. And his smile will always be with us, as well as his name.
Insieme al suo nome vicino al nostro cuore.